Hi guys, it's me, I'm back. Today I thought maybe we could do a story time, uh, kind of speed paint. I just, thought of it. Like it says in the thumbnail, today's story time is about my toxic best friend that I had for a long time, and I finally got the courage to stop being friends, with the help of her niece, which also ended up being a toxic best friend, but that can be a story for another time. This might have to take place in two videos because the speed paint in the back was recorded for 3 hours. Speaking of which, I lost some of the footage, so you didn't get the sketch part, sadly. But yeah, anyway, so let's get into it. So, the way this story starts is when I moved to America from Greece. I started in 7th grade. I had my friend there, and she's a whole other story to talk about. And one day, I started in 2nd grade, not 7th grade. Oh, um, anyway, so in 2nd grade, one day my friend wasn't there to play with me, and I was pretty shy because of some experience I had in last school. I only had one friend in Greece, and I was used to only having one friend, so I never really talked to anybody else. And one day, these two girls, one of them is still one of my greatest best friends. She's basically my sister today. And another one, which is the girl we're talking about. I'm not going to put in any real names in this, just for privacy reasons, and I have no grudge against these people because I personally don't like to hold grudges. But let's call her, Jessica. And let's call my other friend, Ducky. Anyway, these are not their real names. These are the names of these people for privacy reasons. But anyway, so Jessica and Ducky came up to me one time in 2nd grade while my friend wasn't there with me. And she asked me if I wanted to play with her and Ducky, and I said yes because I was lonely and I was sad. And so that was our first time, and then after that we didn't talk to each other for another like uh 2 years until like 4th grade. Which in 4th grade we were in the same class, and I was friends with Seth O'Brien actually. Maybe you guys know him. He's an Instagram um beauty guru, and at the time I used to hang out with him all the time during class, and we used to like be groups or whatever. And with him I also knew my friend Samantha. It's not her real name again. um and so through Samantha I met up with Jessica again, and we ended up becoming friends, and me and Jessica and Ducky and Samantha all became best friends, and we all used to hang out all the time. And things started off great. We were doing fine up to 6th grade, where some drama happened between Ducky, Jessica, and I. And what happened was we had an acquaintance together, a friend together, and they did this handshake thing, and this acquaintance and some other girls that I thought were my friends said we don't want they didn't want me doing the handshake because I wouldn't get it and I'm not part of the group, which it really hurt me because I felt like I was part of the group, but I just wasn't to them, and that hurt. And so Jessica told me that Ducky also put her hand in the circle to vote me out of the group. and so I stopped talking to Ducky for the summer. We ended up talking again after 7th grade started. Ducky never ever causes any drama. She is like the opposite of like anything bad. She is one of the greatest people in the world, and I love her very much. So yeah, my mom basically adopted her, so she's basically adopted in our family now. Just to clear things up. So me and Jessica hung out the entire summer to be because we were friends. We used to hang out all the time. I used to spend weeks sleeping over at her house. My mom wouldn't see me for like a week, and then I'd come home because I get homesick. We used to swim in her pool. She had a huge backyard. And so what started was in the beginning of 7th grade. So she promised me that she wouldn't talk to some people because she knew how I felt about those people and she knew how they treated me, but she ended up talking to them anyway. And it bothered me at first, but I was just like, whatever. It's not a big deal. Might as well make up with them. Ducky was one of these people, by the way. And so, this she kept doing to do this, and I forgot to mention, on the years before we got into 7th grade, she used to talk about this boy that she met during summer school, I think, and she was obsessed with him. She really liked him, and we were supportive of her, and we were like, go for it. And when they finally met, like there, for some reason, she's just changed. She went into 7th grade, and I kind of denied it because I thought she was the same, giggly, happy person, and I thought that was my best friend, but she started changing, and we had this other friend, I'll call her Dolly. She was a younger friend of ours, and Dolly and Jessica were best friends in the whole, like, they were best friends. We were all best friends. But Dolly had a certain, like, kind of need for Jessica because of what happened in Dolly's past, which I will not tell you because it is not my business to tell people about her. Even though we're not friends, it's not my business to talk about her past. So that was great. It was fun. The problem was when 7th grade started. During this time in 7th grade, she started hanging out with a lot of boys, and I didn't find that to be a problem because there's no problem with her hanging out with boys but the thing is the way she'd act. Anytime she'd be over at my house and she found out that a guy she liked or a guy she was friends with was near the house, because where I used to live, there was a park near my house, and they used to go to that park. She would leave me with Dolly to go to that park. She'd ditch me at my own house and then go to the park, and that was a problem, but I just kind of covered it in my head. And this time I was an emotional wreck. I don't know why, but everything was kind of just crashing down in my head. And Dolly, I used to make slime. I used to sell slime at school at this time, like in 7th grade. And Dolly used to destroy my room and stuff. She ate my lipsticks one time, which I'm still kind of mad about, but it's whatever. But Dolly kept destroying my house, and I used to get really mad and anxious anytime anyone held any slime because I thought they'd get more of it on my carpet. There was still some on the ceiling before I moved, and we couldn't get it out. Luckily, we got new carpet though. But I used to yell at them and I'd start crying because I did not know how to. Whenever I feel very strong emotions, I start to cry. It's just, I don't know, it's just what happens. And Jessica would make fun of me for it. She'd make fun of me for getting upset, and then they'd start drama with Samantha and whatever, and it's just a whole thing. Any time we had a large sleepover, always something bad would happen. We'd always like start fighting, so drama, someone would want to go home. And the thing is with Jessica, anytime she slept over, she always needed 200 requirements for her to sleep over. I had to open my windows, I had to keep it so cold. She had to sleep on my bed. She had to sleep uh we let her bring her dog over because she had her dog over. I did all these things just to make sure she was comfortable, but then like she would go and complain about it all the time, and she'd always be like, I want to go home, and then she'd go home right after, even though I did all these things just for her to be able to be comfortable at my house. And then I would always sleep on the floor, because they're my guests and I better take care of my guests, so I always slept on the floor. But drama always started with her, and like there's a whole bunch of little stories I can tell you guys. We can make other little stories about these if you guys want to hear more stories about her, but like the smaller ones, not the big overall story. But she I she started using me for my house, and my mom would be the only mom in our friend group that would drive us places. So she'd use my mom to drive us, and they started doing this thing called Target Tag. My mom used to take us to Target all the time, and they started this thing called Target Tag, but I didn't know about it. I don't know what it was. And she always made me it without me knowing who's it, and that's apparently not how you play it, according to Ducky. Um, she always made me to be it, and what the whole thing of Target Tag is, you go to Target and you have one person in, and you go and hide and try not to get caught, and once you get caught by this person, you have to go with them. But the thing is, they never followed that rule with me. They just kept running away. And I have an issue with being left alone in a public space, because of a story that happened when I was little, um, during the beach while I was still in Greece. I was left, and by accident, and ever since that, anytime someone ditches me or whatever, I start to panic because I don't like feeling like I'm lost or alone. And so she did this all the time, no matter how much I cried or anything. And she would stop. And one time, Jessica and Dolly went to Wendy's, and at our Target, there's a Wendy's near it. They left Target and went to Wendy's while they were quote unquote still playing Target Tag with me. And I was sitting there at Target crying because I didn't know where they are, and I looked everywhere and I couldn't find them until I texted them, where are you? I'm not playing this game. I never asked to play this game. And they said, oh, we're at Wendy's. We just didn't feel like telling you. And I ended up crying, and I called my mom to take me home. And then I don't know why. I should have just left them there, but I can't leave people no matter how bad they treat me. And so what I did is I called my mom, and I called them that my mom's coming to pick us up, and they better come here, else we're leaving. And they came, and they ended up sleeping over that night, but drama happened again like it always does. So it came to a point where she started inviting a whole bunch of people over all the time to her house, and then she'd never invite me, like almost every single day. And anytime I would ask her anytime I could if I could hang out anytime, or if she's free. She said no, I don't want to hang out. And then I'd always see on her Instagram or in her Snapchat that she's hanging out with all these people, and I realized that's all the people she just didn't want me to be around with. And she came up with the excuse that, oh, I don't want that her friends would think I was weird. Her friends would always that was her friends would think I was weird. They were gonna bully me. But I really think that she just didn't want to bring me there because she was embarrassed of me in front of her friends. Except one time, a friend, and we're still friends. She finally let me meet someone, and we're still friends today. But that person's also not friends with Jessica anymore. Anyway, so she always just kept coming over to my house, but then she'd always invite people over, and she invited so many like people that I didn't know, a lot of guys, a lot of boys that apparently lived in my neighborhood. I didn't know them. She'd invite them over without asking me, and all of a sudden, there'd be 20 kids that I didn't know inside my house, in my basement, and they'd always make a mess and never clean it up, and just everything. She just always did that. And one time, I remember this because it still kind of hurts today. It was her birthday, and we had a friend she came with. But the thing is, it almost felt like she was trying to exclude me and everything during her birthday. She came over to my house, and we took her to Target, and she got new shoes, Jordans. I don't know what. Kids had an obsession with Jordans. I think they're kind of ugly, but whatever. She got new Jordans for her birthday, and I have a problem. I had a problem because I didn't have my glasses, and without my glasses, I really can't see. And so my depth perception was off, and so I accidentally kept stepping on her shoes. And she just didn't talk to me for some reason. I was like, what is it? What is it? Why aren't you talking to me? And she wouldn't talk to me. And then Ducky told me that she said that she was annoyed by me stepping on her shoes, and she thought that I was just jealous of her shoes, and it was her birthday, and that she's not talking to me because I am going to ruin her new Converse because I kept stepping on it. And that really, it made me cry, because I was like, you're going to not talk to someone. It was an accident, first of all, for me to be stepping on her shoes. I didn't even mean to. I just couldn't see. And she's not going to talk to me because of some shoes. Because of shoes. She just didn't talk to me because I was ruining her shoes. But they weren't even ruined, and I would just step on the bottom little heel that extra on, because Jordans are 200 feet from front and back, and I just I couldn't see. So yeah, that really, I don't know why that one specific memory really kind of hurts, but it does. Our school has games, and we'd always go to those games and stuff, and she'd never want me in a picture. She never wanted me to be in a picture with the rest of the group. The only picture of a group that I remember she wanted me to be in was just a picture of our feet in a circle. And that was it. And it's she used to take pictures with me all the time. She used to want to be in pictures with me all the time. But then all of a sudden, she just kind of didn't want me to be in any pictures anymore. She didn't want me to be in any musicals with her. She didn't want me to be in anything with her. She used to have a YouTube channel, and she took down any videos, and her reasoning is she didn't want her friends to see it because she was embarrassed by them. And Ducky was slowly going away from her too, because she was starting to be a little really rude to Ducky. And what happened was, Ducky told me the things that she was saying behind my back. I think she thought that Mean Girls was how you're supposed to act to be cool for some reason, even though it's satire, because she said that she thought that I was she thought that I was obsessed with her for some reason. She thought that I just wanted, she thought it was annoying that I always wanted to hang out with her. She thought that it was annoying that I always tried to bring up things that I liked. She had this friend that she had for a long time that liked the same things I did, so naturally we got along. But she was annoyed that I was getting along more with her old friend than she was. But it's not I get being jealous and all because she was your friend, but yeah. So what ended up happening is her niece, which was only a year younger than us because of whatever family situation. I don't even gonna get into that. Again, it's not my business to talk about. Her niece saw the things that were happening. She got fed up with seeing me constantly crying and freaking out and getting angry, because literally I just couldn't. I was in a constant state of a ruckus because of her and how how she treated me. She basically treated me like just a pawn. If I was there to be convenient, then I was her best friend then, but then any other time she didn't even want to talk to me. Um, so finally over FaceTime, um, our her niece helped me stop being friends with her. She said um that she told them basically that um Loopy Loop Sloop, I'm not gonna say my name because I don't want to dox myself. I don't know if I have already, but she was like, Loopy Loop Snoop didn't do anything bad to you. Treat her like trash. You use her all the time, and she's done being friends with you. We're done being friends with you. We're done with the way you treat her, and this is over. And then she hung up, and I was like, I was relieved, and I was still felt bad. Um, but after that, there was some incidents where I was like, she tried to guilt me because that was really the only way she got around anywhere. I was really the only way that the things happened. And she was like, one time, it was like 2 months after I stopped being friends with you. I mean, with her, not you. I don't even know you guys. How can I stop being friends with you when I haven't even, like, anyway, um, at some point, she, we were hanging out, me and the friends that I still had at the time, and she, was on call with her niece because her niece forgave her and they were talking again because they're family, so it didn't bother me that much. And she asked if she could come over, and it infuriated me for some reason. I did overreact. I overreacted a lot during this time because of the whole mess I was in, but I do blame myself. It was my actions, and I do take responsibility for my overreactions at the time. But the thing is, I still was in a bad shape, and I was like just like a seventh grader, so things were hard for me to deal with, like anything bad, so it just kind of manifested, and I didn't know how to talk about it, so I just kind of lashed out any time they did something bad, especially the slime thing, because it just freaked me out because I knew they were gonna make a mess, and they always did. But anyway, um, yeah, that's basically the story, the entire story of my toxic best friends. I haven't talked to her or anything in since maybe once in 8th grade. And I think that's it. That was like the last time I've ever talked to her. I've seen her around, but next year, if coronavirus allows it, I'm I'm starting in the fall. I'm starting in a new school. It's in the same district, but it's like in a new school because I just moved. So yeah, so I won't see her again. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. If you want any more videos, just put it down in the link below. And thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like that button, and yasu.